Hello YouTube world. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. This is my first look. I just chose this really vampy purple eggplant color. Just wanted to also make it festive for the holidays, so I did add this gold into it so it's not too dark. I don't know, I've just been wanting to do a vampy glossy lip, and this is my second time filming it, but I like my second time around better. First time around, half the clip was just blurred. So if you are interested in this vampy festive look, then keep on watching. Alright, I'm starting off with my freshly cleansed and freshly moisturized skin. I especially made sure my under eyes were very moisturized because I do have dry under eyes and I do plan to do a little baking later on. Now moving on to primer, I'm using a Smashbox Photo Finish Foundation Primer Light. This is a water-based, oil-free primer and it's more catered towards oily and sensitive skin. And I'm just rubbing that in until it has completely seeped into my skin. For foundation, I'm going to be using the Anastasia Deadly Nail Stick Foundation. To get my desired shade, I'm using two different colors. Starting off with Banana, I'm placing these in my highlighted area. Now with my second foundation shade, Buon Natural, I'm placing this wherever I left empty. Then I'm going to be picking up a synthetic buffer brush. This one is by Morphe and it's the M439. Since I don't want to diffuse my highlighted areas too much, I'm tapping in the product and keeping the color in its place. Make sure to have the two shades blend in nicely together and do not neglect the neck or the jawline, like I did. And right here I was not feeling the coverage, so I did add a little more of that shade Warm Natural. Now moving on to concealers, I'll be using 3 of them. One is the peach shade and the other 2 are for actual concealing the eyes. I'm using the peach shade because I do have a little bit of dark circles peeking through, so I'm just making sure I'm focusing these on those dark circles. With the Beauty Blender, I'm making small pouncing movements to concentrate the color in the areas that I wanted. Now moving on to my Urban Decay Naked Concealers, I'm mixing these two together to, again, get my perfect shade that I want. The first concealer I'm using is in light neutral and it's a little too dark, so I did want to brighten up with the other shade, which is just the color yellow. Now Now I'm going to set my concealer with the RCMA No Color Powder. But first, make sure that there's no creases, so blend that out with a beauty blender. I start out with the powder closest to my nose because I want to do a little bit of nose contouring, but also because my eyes are really dry. And whatever powder is left on the sponge, I move it closer towards my eye. And while I'm baking with it, I want to move on to my eyebrows. I like to use two different eyebrow pencils when I'm doing a darker or more dramatic look. Now on to my second brow pencil. I'm using the Tarte Brow Architect in the shade D. I like this pencil because it's very similar to the Anastasia Brow Definer. It has the same oblong triangle shape, but the Tarte one gives more soft strokes than the Anastasia one. No shame in my game using this to correct my brows. Alright, moving on to brow gel. I'm using the Anastasia Clear Brow Gel. Before placing down any eyeshadow, I like to prime my eyes with Urban Decay eyeshadow primer in the shade Enigma. Buff out that primer. I'm using the Morphe Buffer Brush BM173. Now while that primer is still tacky, I'm going into the Anastasia Beverly Hills Master Palette by Mario and picking up that gold shade, Fifth Avenue. Using a synthetic flat eyeshadow brush, I'm packing that gold color onto the lid, only placing it on 2/3 of the eye. Now going into my Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance palette, I'm picking up the color Buon Fresco. Using my favorite fluffy taper brush from Stila, this is the number 9 brush, and I'm just going to place the Buon Fresco into my crease and diffusing it outward. I wanted to blend out the crease even further, so I'm picking out the color Tempera, and it's a nice bone shade. Using the Morphe M433 brush, I'm Love Letter from the same palette, and I'm placing that into the crease also, but a little bit below the color Buon Fresco. With this color, I'm slightly making an outer V and also moving it towards the inner part of my socket. And by doing this, I'm making my eyes deeper and giving a slight appearance of bigger eyelids. And to even deepen my crease even further, I'm picking up a pointed crease brush by Morphe, the E28, and I'm dipping into the colors Drama and Vamp from the Tarte Pro palette. I first start off by placing the dark colors on the outermost V and slowly bringing it up to the crease and into the inner socket of the eye. While doing this, I'm keeping a light hand and gradually building up the color. With this eye makeup look, I feel like it's a process of deepening the color and blending out the color, and going back and forth between those two movements. If you feel like you're getting too much of a raccoon eye effect, then just grab a skin tone colored eyeshadow or translucent powder and buff out the outer edges. Using my E3 brush, I'm sweeping off the excess powder, but also doing a fluffing motion. Picking up my MAC Studio Fix powder foundation, I'm going to dust this all over the outer perimeter of my face. I'm using this because it is slightly darker than my foundation, and this allows the bronzer to blend in more easily. Using the very edge of the brush, I'm picking up the same MAC Studio Fix powder and dusting this on the side of my nose to do a slight nose contour. Using my favorite bronzer, the Physician Formula Butter Bronzer in the shade Bronzer, I am going to also layer this onto the places where I use the MAC Studio Fix powder foundation. The brush that I'm using is the Morphe M177. I'm going to be taking the NARS blush Goulue, and I'm going to be dusting this slightly on the apples of my cheeks and pulling the color backwards. Now going back to the eyes, I'm picking up Buon Fresco. Sorry, I pointed to the wrong color. And with Buon Fresco, I'm going to be placing this in the lower lash line and slightly smoking it out. Using a tinier brush, this is the M506, and I'm just picking up Love Letter again and then adjusting that closer to the lash line. Switching to a more precise blending brush, I'm picking up the color Drama from the Tarte Pro palette again and adjusting this onto the lower lash line on top of the previous colors to deepen the look even further. I lost a little bit of that Love Letter color while layering the dark colors on top, so I'm just blending this color right back on there. I wanted to darken the outer corners of my eyes a little bit more, so I'm picking up those two darker shades that I used earlier and place them on the outer V. At this point, I'm just retouching up all the deeper shades on my eyes. Here I'm just dampening the brush that we used earlier for that bold Fifth Avenue, and I'm just trying to intensify the lid a little bit more. And to tie this whole eye look together, I'm putting on some false lashes. These are the flutter lashes in the style I Slay. Here we're just going to take a moment for these lashes. Yes. But wait, there's more. I'm going to be doing a little bit of tight lining, and this is the It Cosmetics No Tug Waterproof Gel Eyeliner. This will blend the false lashes with your regular lashes more seamlessly. Down to the highlighting part. I'm taking Champagne Pop and just popping this on my eye point to make the whole face look more glowy and natural. Staring at my makeup for a while, but I realized I almost forgot the inner corner highlight. But I'm just taking the same highlighting shade I used everywhere else and just popping them in the inner corners of my eye. And whenever whenever I have false lashes on, my nose starts to run, so I'm just gonna have to deal with this for a little while. Guess what? Contouring my face a little bit, I'm using NYX blush in the shade Taupe. I didn't want a strong contour, so I'm using more natural bristles, and this is Morphe's M530. To complete this look, I'm going to be moving on to my lips. I'm going to be using 3 products, a lip liner, and then liquid lipstick, and then a gloss. To line my lips, I'm using any kind of dark lip liner. This is by Rimmel, and I'm just using this to make sure that I won't overdraw my lips with the liquid lipstick. The liquid lipstick I'm going to be using is by Jaclyn Cosmetics, and it's in the shade Abuse. If you're more comfortable with the matte lip, you can totally stop right here, and this look would be complete. But I'm here for a vampy glossy lip, so I'm just gonna move on with the Anastasia Beverly Hills lip gloss in the color Potion. And for the last and final step, I'm setting my makeup with Makeup Forever Mist Fix, and just letting that all soak in. And alright, that's it guys. Thank you so much for watching. This is my first video, and I hope you liked it. And if you do, please give it a thumbs up. And I'll see you next time. Bye! A vampy glossy lip. Okay.
Yeah.
Want me to hit stop?
No, I'm still posing.
Okay.
Do I look pretty?
Yeah.
Do I look crooked?
Crooked? No. Now you do.
Okay.
Oh yeah, you got a lot of stuff on your teeth.